So tell me a little bit about the ins and outs of the program.
Sure, it's been great. So A&M has done a great job kind of coordinating with our community of Sulphur Springs. And so I think we've had 3 to 4 students go through there. They're second-year students in med school at Texas A&M that have some kind of local affiliation or predilection for East Texas, and they want to come spend time with us. They do 1 to 2 weeks with us up there. They do everything in Sulphur Springs from primary care, like family medicine, like what I do, to OB-GYN, to pediatrics, ER medicine. They do some hospital medicine with our hospitalist. And then they do community rounding too. So they meet with like high school health teachers. They meet with the Rotary clubs, Alliance clubs, and people like that to describe what medicine looks like as a medical student, and trying to recruit more people into rural medicine.
Okay, sounds like they get a lot of experience in a lot of different areas. What are the benefits of moving them through all those different routines?
Yeah, it's to show medical students that just because you don't practice in a big metropolitan area, you can still do all the things that you want to do. And so you can be in any field of medicine pretty much and still be in Sulphur Springs, Texas, or some other place like that. So they could do any of those specialties I mentioned, plus there's some others, general surgeries there, things like orthopedic surgery, urology, wound care, all those things they get to see while they're in Sulphur Springs, Texas, to show them that they don't have to practice in a huge town. They can be in a smaller community and still get to do everything they were trained to do.
And how would you describe the success of this program, both in terms of how it benefits Sulphur Springs, but also the medical students?
Well, first for Sulphur Springs, I think it does a great job unifying the community, because the community knows we need more physicians in those places. So it unifies the community in reaching out to those students and kind of partner with the students while they're there to say, hey, even if you don't want to come, do you have friends? Do you have other people that you know that would want to come back here and practice? So the community gets very involved in this recruiting. So it's not just a hospital or a CMO like myself recruiting, it's the whole community recruiting these students back to that town. And then what it does for the students is it creates a love for them for small town medicine that most people don't see. And so they can see that and experience that. And you know, most med schools are doing that now, putting kids in small towns trying to figure that out. I mean, my own experience, I went way down the middle of Southwest Texas, close to San Angelo, to a little rural area to do the same thing when I was in school, and I just loved it and fell in love with small town medicine. That's why I wound up in a small town when I got out.
So it is for some people.
It is.
If they can discover it and you can expose them to all there is to do with rural medicine.
Exactly. And there's, you know, and I'll say this, Sulphur Springs is a little bit different of a town because it does have a hospital that CHRISTUS supports that has all those service lines. Every place is not going to have that. We have doctors and providers in smaller towns than that don't have that many service lines, like a Winsboro or a Elkhart or Grapeland, where we have clinics. We may not have as many service lines as we do in Sulphur Springs, but Sulphur Springs is a one place which is a small town but also has all those different benefits that the physician can see.
All right, and I want to talk a little bit about the future of this program and the partnership with A&M. Is there room for expansion? What does that look like?
I think so. I think you kind of hit it on the head just by accident when we first started talking. I think the play would be to take more students there, you know, and then at some point take residents there from A&M that want to do rotations there and want to do more with us there. So I think you're exactly right. I mean, you want to get people involved in small towns that want to stay there. Most studies show that where you do your residency is where you usually practice for the first years of your practice. So how do you get those people involved in small town medicine? I'll give you a for instance. So our ER physicians, you know, we have ERs all over East Texas with CHRISTUS. One of the things they do is they'll let some of the students that sign that they want to come to CHRISTUS work in those small towns during their residency, during their training, so they'll want to come back here. And so we do that all the time for some of even the post-grad people.
So East Texas is full of rural areas for people to practice and learn. Is there a chance that we could expand this program to other locations?
Oh, for sure. We're already in the process of doing that. Yes, ma'am. We're already looking to Jacksonville and Atlanta and those places like that, Palestine, some of those places like that where we can partner with the med students from A&M and get their rotation set up. So yeah, Coleman knows this, we're about to have a signing with A&M down in Jacksonville. They're going to do the same thing they're doing in Sulphur Springs, they're going to do in Jacksonville. So yeah, we're excited for the partnership with A&M.
What do you think this partnership means for East Texans?
I think it just shows our communities in East Texas and all the parts of Texas, rural Texas. I was a Texas Tech grad. I think all the parts of Texas need to know that the physicians in the state and the hospital systems in the state are on board and putting physicians and providers and clinicians in small towns. And I think that's what it needs to show them, that we're not just saying everybody needs to be in Tyler, Texas. We'd love to keep care in their local towns, and that's our goal.
This is going to have an obvious answer, but just kind of as an overview, what is the importance of rural medicine?
I think it's just that. I think it's so patients and people can get care where they're at, whether they don't have to drive 40 or 60 miles or even farther if you're in West Texas. It's so you can go right down the street and get good quality care that's the same care as you wouldn't get in Dallas, Austin, Houston, or someplace like that.